Good morning, and thank you for keeping it right here on Sunrise at CU, just in time for our views, where we have real life conversations discussed here, and we give you our views, and then you also give us your views, and we come to a conclusion. Well, today we are having a continuation of the conversation that we had yesterday, and that is relationship identity crisis. Now, losing your identity in a relationship. Of course, joining me are the ladies. I have Priva Elibaz, Agi Uwase, and Sarah Apollo. And let us all note that today is the 30th of June, and it's Sarah Apollo's birthday. What a beautiful day to be celebrating someone as special as her, but we shall celebrate her after the conversation. Let's dive right into it. So just to give you a highlight, for those who missed yesterday's conversation, we did highlight on what does it mean to lose your identity. And we said losing your identity is losing yourself in a relationship. Means that your attention is so focused on the relationship that you do not know who you are anymore. You have lost your sense of self, your identity, separate from your partner, and your life doesn't feel completely like your own. Now, it's also important that we get to understand some of the signs that you are slowly losing your identity. Now, yesterday, by the time we closed the conversation, we were looking as to why women are more prone to losing their identity when in a relationship. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
The conversation continues. It's a beautiful day. The month has come to an end, but also it's ending with birthday celebrations. So we know where we are going
After.
but we have work tomorrow, so we shall celebrate it on Friday. Anyway, women, why are women more prone to losing their identity in a relationship? I know each of you highlighted on it briefly yesterday, but we can now dive deep today.
Because women, let me go first.
Okay.
Because young girls, we are raised and nurtured to cater to everybody else than ourselves. We are told for us to have meaning in our lives, we have to be something else but ourselves. You have to be a mother. You have to be a wife. You have to be a college graduate or university graduate. You have to be a career woman. Everything but who you are as a person. It's like society does not care for a woman's feelings, a woman's needs. Because the thing is, when she's catering to everybody else, who is catering to her? I think it's society's fault. And I think we need to do more to start breaking this generational curse and start allowing women to feel themselves, because it's no matter what a woman does, she just cannot feel fulfilled because she has not been taught to love herself, to appreciate herself, to bring forth her qualities, to bring forth her individuality, which is very important. And when women get into relationships, when you get it, look at the Marriage Institute. It's a scam.
Yeah.
Because a woman has to...
According to you.
Because a woman has to let go of everything that she is. You leave your home, you go to his home. You leave your name, your birth, your given name, your name at birth,
to take on
another person's name. So many times you even have to abandon your own religion and your religious beliefs to adopt your husband's. You abandon your culture to adopt his culture, and then at the end of the day, the children that you have don't belong to you; they belong to him as well. So where do women win? Do you understand what I mean? That is how we lose ourselves in our marriages. And then when you get into your marriage, you're being told that everything, that you are the glue of that relationship. You're the one who has to make it work. You're the one who has to bend over backwards. You're the one who has to compromise. So where is space for us to be ourselves? Do you understand? Do you get where I'm coming from? That is why women are a lot more prone to losing their identity when they get into relationships. Men on the other side don't lose anything. They are actually required to stay as is. They're not losing their names. They're not leaving their cultures or their religions for a woman. They're not leaving their hobbies. They say that is how men are. When he cheats and he stays out late, or if he decides to, continue doing the things that he does, that's how men are. For you are there to kuguma, to
be his peace.
Yeah, be his peace.
Yes, be his peace. It's very important.
And I'm not saying that this applies to all relationships, but that is what happens many times when a lot of women get into relationships. I'm not saying that all women lose their identity. There are some who marry right, and it all comes down to just marrying right. Marrying the person who wants you to keep on being you. all right, being yourself.
Okay, so I'll pose this to Priva. How do we draw the line between losing your identity as women and being submissive? Yesterday, after the show, we did have a conversation with Brigadier General Felix Kulaije, and he did point out that a woman's role is to totally be submissive to her man. So now where do we draw the line that now, you know what, I'm losing my identity? Or actually, I'm being submissive, because you're supposed to submit. To be submissive, doesn't it mean that you're also going to abandon your religion and follow? Exactly.
No, there's a difference between being submissive. There's a difference between submission and slavery.
Okay, so
what you're defining right now is slavery, because you're being owned.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Well. I like the fact that Afande yesterday did speak on this topic briefly, and one thing he said is that as people, we are failing to understand our roles in these relationships that we're in. You're a woman in a relationship, but you want to be a man. You're a man in a relationship, but you're not even a leader. You know, you're not playing your part, you're not playing your role. So for me, I feel like the disconnect also comes in where we fail to understand what we're supposed to play in our relationships. You did mention the issue of being submissive. I for one want to say that I believe every woman is capable of being submissive to their man, as long as that man has put himself in a position of being a leader and providing and making this person, you know, feel safe. You understand? And still in the same spirit, a man who is very secure enough will allow you to be your own person. You know, they'll support your dreams. It will be a healthy relationship. I know once you're from a toxic relationship and you just do something that is healthy, it could feel weird. You know, imagine someone agreeing with you and, you know, trusting your intuition and trusting your brain to do something extraordinary. And, you know, it could come off as weird, but that's what a healthy relationship feels like. You're able to be an individual person outside of what your man does or what you are as a unit in a marriage. Those things of shared goals, you could have shared goals, of course, as a couple if you want to make it to the other side, but as an individual, you should always be independent of what the other person is trying to do.
Okay, why women? Why are we falling and losing our identity, and the men continue doing everything, nothing
and
about them changes?
Yes, I think I'll just re-echo exactly what I said yesterday. At the end of the day, it's about you as a human being. Do you know who you are? Do you know what you want? Well, there's those people who might say, I know what I want. I know where I want to be in the next 5 years. And this man shows up in your life, and before you know it, you're losing your goals. You're now all about the shared goals. You lose the fact that you had a career that you wanted, you know, to pursue. You actually forget the fact that you wanted to have kids until when you are 28. This man comes into your life and they want you to start having kids at 25, and you're compromising. And I will again say what I said yesterday. Men never compromise on what they want. If they want to marry at 30, they will marry at 30. So I think it's about us as individuals just sticking to your goals as a human being. If you meet a man who does not want you to pursue your dreams, who wants you to fit in their life, you know, how they've structured out their life, I mean, let them go. You can always find someone else who will accept you as you are and, you know, be supportive in all your goals. At the end of the day, it comes to you as an individual. And until you sit back and rediscover or discover and know who you are and what you want, you'll always find yourself in compromising situations.
Interesting opinions being given here by the ladies, but I think there is a percentage of a viewer that we are not representing here. And I came across a video on YouTube of a couple that believes there is nothing such as getting lost. It's called being submissive. You become one. You take on the identity of each other. That means
you can become submissive if a guy is a leader. Yes.
So your issue is that he must be a leader.
That guy assumes his position, you can also, you know, assume yours.
Okay, so let's first take a look at this video, and when we return, the ladies will be weighing in on it.
And vice versa.
Hallelujah. Say amen, ladies. So let's weigh in on that video. According to that couple, there is no such thing as losing your identity in a relationship. You become one. And the lady has said it out plainly, and she says the man that he married has added so much value onto her. So let's break it down.
Can I please go first?
Yes, birthday.
First of all, good on her that he has added value to her. And I do agree with her when she says that when you come together as a couple, you have to have shared goals and you have to have one direction. And with that, let me break it down. It's important for people who are coming together to start a family to have one direction when it comes to resource allocation. How do you want to invest? When do you want to build? Okay, what assets do you want to, collectively get together? And then there is also, how are you going to raise your children? How many children are you going to get? Which schools are they going to go to? What kind of diet are you going to put them on? How many children you want? All these have to be aligned, and it's important for you to have together. And that comes down to having a mission statement for your family, having values, principles, objectives of your family. Those ones can be shared. But when you have to let go of who you are as an individual to completely incorporate yourself into another being, right there, she's literally telling us she dropped herself to become her. Basically, she dropped everything that she was to take on her husband's.
Well,
He did not lose himself. He did not lose himself.
Because she's being
and
submissive.
That is different. Listen, submission means yielding to. Let's go back to that and let's understand what submission means.
Okay.
It means yielding to an authority. For you to yield to an authority, that authority has to create a space where you feel safe and secure in that space.
Okay.
You cannot submit to somebody who does not make you feel secure, who does not make you feel safe, and who does not have a clear mission or goal or purpose. Let me bring it down to a work environment. If you come here, if you go to your various workplace and your boss is not doing his job as a boss, to ensure that you have the resources that you need to do your tasks, to do your work, you don't have your job security, are you going to respect that boss? No, you're not going to submit to your boss. Do you understand? Same thing with a relationship. If the person who is set to lead that relationship or that home is not providing that security, you're not going to submit. Submission is not guaranteed. Here is a pass, I am your wife, submit. No, wives have no time to submit if they don't feel safe, because if she's not feeling safe, now she's taking on the role as protector, provider. She has no time now to start massaging your ego. So get it right. So listen, it's important to still be your individual self. I am talking about drop your character flaws. Work on your character flaws. If you're someone who used to party all the time, that can be detrimental to you financially, emotionally, psychologically, even health-wise. So if you're dropping things like that, bad habits, to incorporate new ones, and your partner is adding value, absolutely, go ahead. I am all for that. But don't lose yourself and stop doing the things that you love just because of your partner. Your partner is an introvert, so now you're letting go of your extroverted self because your partner is an introvert. You're going to be miserable. 50% and more of relationships end up in divorce because people are like, I can't take it anymore. I don't know who I am. I let go of everything I was to get with this person, and yes, it is good, may be good, but it doesn't make me happy. And do you want that? Do you really want that? The only people who are one in this world are Siamese twins, and not even all of them. Only those ones who have shared organs. So please, even God says on the day of judgment day, you'll be there by yourself, not with your partner who you're saying, "Boo, you are one."
Okay, I would like.
I never had the statement of I don't know myself without this person. That's a very bad statement.
Very bad.
If this person is not in the picture, you don't know who you are. That video right there, like Sarah mentioned, that woman dropped everything, to fit in the husband's lifestyle. At the end of the day, that is where you find this midlife crisis, because there's certain things that you would have wanted to do back in the day, but you couldn't do them because you wanted to please your partner. Actually, what that lady is doing everything to please their partner. And I think we as women sometimes think that if we are pleasing our partners, then we are more acceptable. Then
but it has worked for them.
We don't know what will happen in the next 2 years, however.
It has worked for them because I Googled them and found out that they have been married for over 20 years.
We don't know what will happen in the next years. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, but that could happen in the near future. While you are in a relationship, you need to at least maintain a self of your personal identity, who you are as a person. Shared goals are beautiful. I mean, how many kids are we having? What future prospects are we working on? But can you have your own personal life? Do not drop your friends. These husbands of yours and these men of yours do not drop their friends. They do not drop their lives. But you are there seated back at home because your husband doesn't want you to hang out with your friends, while he's on the other hand hanging out with his friends. He doesn't want you, to dress a certain way because he's insecure. Not because you're going to act a certain way, but because he's insecure about himself. And all you are doing is being engrossed in his lifestyle. For me, I think it's a bad thing. It's actually a recipe for disaster. At the end of the day, if you find someone who doesn't want you to be yourself, who wants you to be who
who they want you to be, that's not a person you should keep in your life, honestly.
Okay.
Okay, well, what I get from this video is quite different from what the ladies have shared. I can understand what that woman said of, you know, once you get into a marriage, I'm not going to speak of a relationship in the terms of boyfriend and girlfriend. No, that's your business. You're still just experimenting. But but yeah, you're still experimenting. So I'm not talking about it in regard to, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm speaking from the fact that this is a wife and a husband.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to let go of these weird mannerisms that you think they make you who you are. You know, just not for the sake of pleasing your partner, but for the sake of making your marriage work. You understand? If you were, like Sarah mentioned, if you were partying every single day, you're now married, bills are going to increase, you have children coming into play, you have to take care of the home, so much responsibility is being put on you, and you still continue with the partying. For me, I feel like that's crazy. And if I said, yo, change that partying, it's crazy, it's becoming too much, it doesn't mean I'm trying to take away from who you are as a person. I'm just telling you, please do something that is right for once. You know, this is going to benefit your family at the end of the day. Some of the things in life, you have to take them away from yourself, even if it makes you, I don't know how, even if it gives you some sort of adrenaline that I can't even explain, you have to let go when you're in a relationship and when you're in a marriage and you're married. Even the vows, they say them when you guys are getting married and exchanging your vows. Yes, me, I'm not married, but yeah, you see it like in sickness and in health and in this and in that. So for me, I feel like it goes back to compromising. Not compromising because I'm suffocating my partner, but compromising so that our marriage can actually do what? Work for the better. So if there are bad character traits, please, you need to change those. So
in your aspect, when it comes to losing identity in a relationship, it should come from a point of your undoing bad habits.
Yes, you're unlearning some of your nasty habits to, you know, not to make your partner comfortable. Yes, it's also, it plays a role, but for the sake of your relationship, you know, to work. You cannot keep with your bad manners. You cannot keep sleeping with multiple people just because.
But what you're calling bad manners could be someone's sense of identity.
Being a hoe is your sense of identity.
Okay, no, that is bad. But me, I think
please
I beg your pardon, but being a womanizer or someone who sleeps around with different
promiscuous.
people. Yeah, being promiscuous, yes. I beg your pardon.
Identity.
Do you think that's your identity?
No, I would like to say this. Like,
alcoholism is an identity?
I would like to say this, right? We all have bad character traits or bad character you know, flaws that we should all work on. But what we need to do as individuals is that not want to control your partner. You can't control what the other person does and vice versa. But what we need to do is create an environment that is conducive enough to accommodate and welcome that person in your life without you having to control them. Another thing that is very important is you need to ask your future partners or rather future prospects, are you looking for a wife or are you looking for me? Do you understand? There is a difference. Because a wife, there are these different, you know, expectations or character traits that a wife has to have. And not every one individual can have all those. And now when people say, I'm looking for a wife, now they want to unplug you from who you are as a person. Say, for instance, you are outgoing, you are really you love to dress up, you're a very stylish person, you understand, you love to go out, you love to travel, you understand, you are a career woman, and now because you're a wife, you now have to drop your career, your children have to come first. That is what I mean. Like, sometimes that is what is expected of a wife, and that's what people want and expect a career woman to have to drop that to now cater to, you know, having large family, and that's not what she wants. That is what I mean by you cannot control this whole business of being one because it suits just one person's ideology and agenda. It has to be fair on both sides. There has to be a collective bargaining agreement on the table.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be one person dropping
I watched, you know, these reality TVs about the judge discussing family matters and whatnot. So there was this couple and the man did not want his wife to work. She was working before, they had 4 children. So the man goes on to say she doesn't want her to work. She says that she wants to start working. So the judge asked him, when you say that she can start, you know, having a career after the children are old enough, how old should the children be? He's like, the youngest should be 18. They had 4 children between the ages of 2 and 10.
How many? 4?
4, between 2 and 10 years old. So she has to wait until the one who is 2 years old to start to get 18, so she can now start having a life of her own. You're depriving a person of their basic human rights, and you can actually be sued and jailed for that.
So when I was coming up with this topic, I had a conversation with my mentor, and while we were discussing it, she asked me, what would make you fall in love with a man? And I replied and said, his personality, the way he conducts himself. What if maybe I met him, you know, at what should I say? He was playing basketball and that's how we met. Or what if I met him playing cricket or golf? So my question and a point that I would like us to ponder on is, what is the point of losing your identity in a relationship, yet your identity is the first thing that your partner was attracted to?
Yes,
whether we like it or not,
yes.
it is our identity that attracts the people who want to date us. They like the way you dress, they like the way you talk, they like the fact that you're outgoing, they probably even like the fact that you're a party animal. So again, I came across a video on TikTok. Watch. Start by going to church on Sunday. There cannot be us without me. So how do you lose your identity? And
The first thing that your partner got attracted to. I'll just give you an example. Your partner could find you in the gym working out, you're working on yourself, you're looking good, and then you get into the relationship with him and you get very comfortable, and now you're no longer going to the gym, and now you're becoming fat, you're becoming obese, and then you start probably seeing him, you know, being with other girls who look better, and you get jealous and you get obsessed and you get toxic because you lost yourself after getting into the relationship. You got comfortable and now you no longer look as good as this partner of yours found you. So how does that help you in the long run?
So what are some of the signs that you have lost your identity in a relationship again?
I think one of the signs that you've lost your identity in a relationship is toxicity, your obsession with your partner because you do not know how to be without them. You want to follow up where they're going, what are they doing, or even you lose if your partner found you when you were hanging out with your friends, now you only want to hang out with him. You want to do the things that he does. You lose out on your hobbies. Sometimes even people lose out on their career goals. You wanted to probably be a lawyer, but you know, you met this guy and he's telling you, know what, let's do business. And you lose out on what you wanted initially because your partner has told you, now let's do business. What if the business doesn't work out? What if the relationship doesn't work out? What do you make of your life later on? So for me, it's about losing your hobbies, losing your career goals, losing the things that you have always wanted to do in life before you met this person.
Okay.
Well, for me, I think a sign that you're actually losing your identity is when you constantly think about your partner. I mean, it's nice, it's cute. You're in love, you're thinking about your partner all the time.
But anymore because we are losing our identity.
No, it's not even about that. But when you find yourself not even thinking about you, but your head is occupied by your partner, what your partner is doing, what could he be doing, who is he texting, what is he eating? Like, when are you going to cater to yourself? When are you going to think about you for a second? And then also when you get to a point and you know your interests are jumbled up, just like Aggie did mention. You wanted to do this, but now this new partner of yours has come in, and just like that, your goals have vanished. They're nowhere even, you know, you don't even feel empowered to carry it till the end. And then some of the other aspect I think is when your partner is always on your schedule, like, hey Bambi, today I'm going to leave work. Well, I'm going to get a break at around 10 a.m. I should give my boyfriend a call. At 1 p.m. I should do a video call. Then at 5 I should find him at office. Then we go home together.
We're keeping
What
in
is
touch.
wrong with you?
What is your life
What's your life like
without
without this
this
person? Like, do not put your partner on schedule.
Okay.
Yeah, like, get out of it. By the time you start feeling like you're constantly putting you're putting yourself and fitting into your partner's schedule, there's something wrong with you.
Okay, so let's look at actually some of the signs that the ladies haven't highlighted on. Signs that you have lost your identity in a relationship. The first one is you feel the overwhelming need to please your partner at any cost. When I looked at this particular one, I said, but what is wrong if I want to please my partner? But again, if you constantly want to please your partner at all times, and also you forego the things that you love, and it's always about him or always about her, then you know that you're starting to lose your identity. You are constantly thinking about your partner, pre-highlighted on this. You begin to question your own feelings. Have you found yourself in a relationship where you're angry at something, but you're like, do I need to be angry? Or maybe this is what you meant, and you're constantly giving excuses for your partner partner, then you know that you have lost your identity in a relationship. The next one is you are always on your partner's schedule, your priorities and interests drastically change, and your boundaries become blurred. So now, ladies, as we almost wrap up this conversation, what is the best way for one to retain their identity while in a relationship? And I'll start with you, Sarah.
First of all, you have to have a partner who encourages you to be you. A partner who loves you for being you. A partner who will even be like, but you don't like soccer, what's up? Why are you coming? I know there is bands here. How about I take you there? How about we start, let's do what you want to do today. You get? Sometimes when we're in love, or a lot of times when we're in love, we feel like we have to always compromise and sacrifice ourselves for the other person, but that's not the case. So you need a person who is equally yoked and aligned with you and also has your interests at heart. Somebody who will be like, you know what, okay, let's draw a timetable. If it has to go down to that, let's draw a timetable. This week, I am the one who picks what we do for date night. Next week, it's you. So that you have an equal balance, and that way you're like just training your partner and encouraging them to continue being themselves. Because sometimes we think that we have to completely drop ourselves. And like I said, it's important to ask your partner, who do you want, a wife or you want me? It's not that I cannot be a wife, but I can be an amazing wife when I am happy. When I'm me, I am an absolutely amazing wife. So that is one way. You need to have a partner who encourages you to be you and encourages you to go on and pursue. Just get a supportive person.
For me, I'd think first of all, as you're starting this relationship, sit down. Let's talk about our goals. What do I want to do as Owase? What do you want to do? What do you envision before, we bring in the shared goals? Let's talk about it. And like Sarah said, I'll still re-echo the same thing. Someone who is supportive will eventually encourage you every day. They'll follow up to know, are you still, going to pursue your master's degree, or you've dropped it now? So for me, I think first of all, put your goals on the table, individual goals, and then you can talk about shared goals later. And also be the kind of people that encourage each other every other day, to follow through with your plans as an individual and then as a couple. And maybe the other thing is, the compromising bit of it, sometimes you can try to be understanding in case things do not work out.
Absolutely. Now, there is no conversation in regard to relationships that we can have without a bit of advice from the famous Steve Harvey. And he has something to say to you in case you are losing your identity in a relationship. Take a look. Please do get out of toxic relationships. These things of we are one, we are submitting. The major reason as to why someone fell in love with you, and the first thing that attracts someone to you, is your identity. Stick to your identity. Just like every country in the world has a flag, has a motto, that is their identity. What is your identity? Priva, I would like to end with you. What should women do and men in relationships to retain their identities?
Well, I think for me, it's you should first of all be comfortable expressing yourself around your partner. If you ever get to a point and you're scared of, saying something or doing something because you're factoring in what your partner feels, what their opinion is going to be about that something that you're doing, then that's when you're losing yourself in a relationship. So for me, to maintain your identity in a relationship, please feel free to express yourself. If your partner is not supportive, if your partner is not encouraging you being you, then it's time to, to fall back and step away from the relationship, because at the end of the day, it's just going to be toxic and you're not going to benefit from it at the end of the day. And basically I would say be yourself, express yourself. If your partner starts shutting you down, walk away.
Okay.
What is the thing? You can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself before you can take care of someone else.
Well, that wraps up the conversation that we had for you today on Our Views. But before we do say goodbye and before we close the show entirely, it's very important that we get to celebrate someone special today. And she is none other than Apollo Sarah. And she's very passionate and she's a very passionate young lady and very passionate about motivating people to pursue their dreams. She also is a fan of Platters and Peaches branch that is held somewhere I will not mention because we are not going to do marketing. But Apollo Sarah, wish you a very, very happy birthday. You're such an amazing addition to the team.
Thank you. Don't sing, but thank you.
She'll cry. Well, that wraps up what we had for you this morning on Our Views. Keep watching Sunrise at Sea and don't blink.
Well, we've finally come to the end of the show this morning. I had a good time today on the show. We did discuss youth empowerment and inclusion on a social, economic, and political level. We did also host some of the guests, and that was Mr. Epi Tugadi, who is the publicity secretary for the National Youth Council, as well as Dr. Nancha Esther, who is the vice chairperson for the National Youth Council. So I hope you're able to pick, a thing or two about their conversation and their discussion today in our Twitter jabs. And, I hope you do make your way down to Speak Resort Munyonyo come Monday so that you can learn a thing or two about empowering the youth in our country. Well, just like, we had it with the ladies, they did give their submissions in regard to the relationship identity crisis. Very powerful submissions, very powerful points. So I hope you also learned a thing or two out of that. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same day, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. My name is Priva Elibaz, and this is Sunrise at Sea. Don't blink.
Well, it's also very important that as a team, wish Sarah a happy birthday again. Happy birthday, Sarah. And that's her right there. In case you want to meet her in person, please go to her Twitter. Sarah, what is your Twitter handle? Gifts? Do you want to read out your number?
Money.
Someone is in my inbox here telling me, please read out your number. They want to send mobile money. So the floor is yours.
Yes,
quickly wrap it up.
Thank you so much. I feel hard. I feel seen today. I feel very special. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you, everybody. Yes, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and that is at ApolloSarah1.
Okay, give us your bank account
Apollo
number.
Sarah one. That's the most important details.
Mobile money or bank account? I think mobile money is it's a much faster transaction. So my number is 0. Just go to my Twitter.
Slide them
Well,
DMs.
due to public demand, Sarah says we should not sing for her, but people behind the scenes are
saying we must
complaining
sing.
and saying that we should sing because she
guys are
should
going to
cry.
make me
So
cry.
here
It's
we
so
go.
emotional.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sarah. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. See ya.
We ate some bananas and some honey. Well, that wraps up.